Good
Yeah.
morning, everybody.
Or good evening.
Hello. Good night. Almost to us.
Oh, is it good
Mhm.
night there? It's
It's like
5, right?
super early morning to you, 5 a.m. in the
That's true.
Philippines.
I'm like, good morning. I still need to sleep. Yeah. So this week, guys, I get to pick the question and I'm excited about it. I want to hear what these girls think. So basically, the question is, what in your life are you waiting for that you've prayed for, asked God for, you still did not get the answer to? And what are you doing in the waiting? How do you wait
Mm.
patiently for that? Are you still waiting or did you give up? Get it?
I'm definitely still waiting, and there's like a billion things. So it's like, which ones can I talk about, you know? Really patiently waiting, like, for just so many, you know, uh,
Mhm.
Yeah,
prayers.
give us 3.
Three. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll start with one, and then you go to
Okay.
one, and then you
Okay.
can
Oh,
go.
we each give 3. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So
Okay.
the first thing for me is definitely my husband. Just
Yeah.
waiting patiently. I've been single literally 7 years. Like, didn't even
Whoa.
date around or like flirt or nothing,
Flirt.
I don't know how to
Didn't
flirt.
even
Like,
look at a
what is
guy.
flirt? Yeah, I don't even look like whatever. But it's just like, just patiently waiting.
Mhm.
And how do you patiently wait? You literally just pray. You read God's word, like constantly learning more about myself in the waiting, constantly learning about what I actually want and need in a spouse. Because
Mhm.
if I didn't wait and look into that, it's like, is it just because they're good looking, or is it just because they're funny, or is it just because, like superficial things? In the
Yeah.
waiting, it's like God really starts to reveal to you, like, what is really, really, what really matters, right?
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
he starts to reveal that to you when you are seeking him in this time, right? He'll show you, like, you want someone who also loves to help people. Like, I love to help the poor, and that's like another
Yeah.
thing that I've been praying for. We'll go to the next one later, but like, yeah, so you patiently wait, not like, okay, in the meantime, let me just like date around and like, fool around and just
Lonely.
like go everywhere.
Take
Like,
take the loneliness away with other men.
exactly,
Too
exactly.
much.
You wait patiently,
Let me just fill it up. Yeah.
growing
Mhm.
and learning in that time, and just
Mhm.
constantly just trusting that, like, God has that one who also loves and has the same vision and dream, um, for life,
Mhm.
which will be the next thing I've been praying for. But yeah,
Mhm.
what
Mhm.
about
That's
you,
what.
Shireen?
Yeah, well, that's what's also one of the things that
Mm-hmm.
I'm waiting for, and especially knowing like God's timing for it, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's like, okay, God, when's the right timing? Because I know you have this promised for us, right? But when's the right timing, right? And what is going to
Exactly.
happen in that meantime? Or like, what
Yeah.
are you going to do in my life? What other things are you going to be doing in my life in
Yeah.
between that time? So that's one thing, but since you already brought that one up, I think what I'm waiting for is definitely knowing the next direction in my life, right? What's going to happen when I finish my master's degree, right?
Yeah.
What's
Wow.
next, right? So, like, waiting to finish, but then
Yeah.
also waiting to know what's next. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's so
And
good.
in
Oh,
terms of like,
wow.
what do I
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
in
How do you enjoy it in the
yeah,
waiting?
yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny because in the very beginning of this year, in January, something that I felt like God kept putting on my heart was wait patiently and peacefully, right?
Mm.
So like not just patiently, but also peacefully. Um, and I think just like in the meanwhile, it's you know consistently pursuing God, praising Him,
Yeah.
worshiping Him, right? And just putting Him first,
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
prioritizing Him, and like literally staying focused on Him, right? And giving our attention to Him and not our lack, right? Because
Yeah.
it's when like we focus on the lack that we just start to uh like we either get impatient or we're bitter, or we start to think, oh, why does this person have this in their life and I don't have this in my life, right? But then that's when we combat that with thankfulness and stuff. So I think
Yeah.
when we really have our hearts set on God, right,
Mm-hmm.
then it makes the waiting so much more, not just bearable, but actually enjoyable,
That's
right?
so
Like
good. Yeah.
we can have fun with God, like while we're waiting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
What about you, Daph?
yeah, for me, I'm waiting. Well, it's different here, right? I tell you
Mhm.
guys, in the Philippines, you can't go out. So we're just waiting to get out to be able to go around. Like I know
Mhm.
you guys are able to go to
Outside my door.
Ottawa, Quebec, and all of that. We can't even do that, you know? So it's a
Mhm.
to even go out. But I think at while we're waiting to do that, while we're waiting for the vaccine or the cure, if you believe in that or whatever, for the moment when it kind of everything kind of goes back to more normal. I don't think any it will actually go to like total normal, but like it just like allowed to go out again and stuff. Like until then, God was like enjoy your kids, because I think if you
Mhm.
forget in the moment like to have fun with your kids,
That's
enjoy
so
them,
good. Yeah.
yeah, because you could be so focused and like
When
okay,
is it gonna open? When is it? Da, da, da,
Yeah.
and
yeah,
not
and
pay
then
attention to
you
your
when
kids. Yeah.
yeah, because you're so focused on that day that it's
Mm-hmm.
gonna be done, which is good. Like there's hope, but at the same time, you also forget at the moment you could still do fun stuff at home, like pray together, like read the
Mhm.
word. You don't stop. Not you don't just because you're not allowed to go to church, you don't stop. You know,
Mhm.
um. So I think it's like yeah, that's the basic thing. Just like enjoying the wait,
Yeah.
whatever
Mhm.
season you're in. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
That's so
one.
good.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, the next one, another thing that I've been praying for and hasn't been answered yet, but enjoying trying my best to enjoy the waiting, is definitely the children's home, like our dream
Mhm.
from the very beginning, God-given dream. Who knows how God is going to do this, but it's been literally like 8 years or 10 years, and
Yeah.
obviously for the borders to open because like of the pandemic, all the borders closed. But I
Yeah.
guess those things go together, like waiting for the borders to open, to go, and then for the children home to like be built, and for everyone around to come together, and
Mhm.
unite and make this happen. Because it's
Mhm.
not just through one person that God wants to do this with. He wants to bring everyone together, and everyone has a part, right? So it's
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
we see it, we're praying for it, always wanting and dreaming of it to happen. But like, how do you wait patiently? Just
Mhm.
enjoy, just daily, like just every day, like for Daphne, yes, you enjoy your kids, but for me, it's like enjoy my time. Like when I was studying, like I was enjoying, not like dreading. Oh, like when is the time that I get there? Which I did sometimes.
Mhm.
I just want to get there. I'm missing like the now, the here.
Mhm.
So it's like just appreciating, okay, every single day, okay, God has a plan. He has every step, set, even though we don't see it. He's preparing the hearts, he's preparing the lives, he's bringing the people together,
Mhm.
he's encouraging whoever it is out there in their own room quarantined, right?
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
whatever like they're praying for, he's like, I know and I believe like he's touching their hearts and changing them, from transforming them in their own way, from wherever
Mhm.
they are. So just knowing that he has like the absolute perfect timing, um, that helps me, you know, believe like full faith that
Mhm.
he has it all set and planned. So not worrying and stressing about when and how and where and all this kind of stuff, but just like letting God do it.
Mhm. Yeah. No, it's good.
What about you?
Um, the the other thing that I'm waiting for is definitely for a lot of the dreams, like nightly dreams that I've had, to be revealed or to be given interpretation, because I know that God
That's good.
is like a revealer, right? And He's God of interpretation, and so I know that in his perfect timing, when I need to know the meaning behind a dream, he'll give it to me. But in the meantime, I just have to wait, right? But sometimes I'll wake up and think, oh, okay, what does that mean? Or why was this person in
Again?
this? Why was this person in this dream? Why am I dreaming about these people again? I don't understand. It's like, why am I in the Philippines in this dream? Or like,
Oh,
like there,
Yeah. Yeah.
there's just so many things happening in my dreams, and so I'm recording them.
Yeah.
And sometimes I get impatient. I want to know, like, what does it mean? Like, does it mean this? Like, can I connect this and this? Like, I can, but I have to wait, right? I have
yeah.
to, it's like I can try to come up with the interpretation on my own, to like suit whatever I want, but I know that I have to wait for God's timing, for his revelation, for him to give
Yeah.
me
Yeah.
more pieces of
Absolutely.
information about the dreams that I have. Yeah.
Mhm.
Awesome.
That's so good.
Yeah,
That's so good. Yeah.
that's cool. And he
Mhm.
will, Shireen. He'll reveal it one day. Maybe
Yeah,
you'll be here one
I
day.
know, right?
That's very
Yeah.
sweet.
Yeah.
What about
So
you
for me
guys?
too, yeah, I'm waiting for the children's home to be built too. But
Mhm.
while I'm waiting for that, God gave me the peace about not stopping missions just because you're waiting for
Mm,
something else. Because like
Mhm.
he has the perfect timing. It doesn't mean you don't help the poor today.
Mhm.
It
mhm,
doesn't mean you don't adopt today. And like
mhm,
that's, as you guys know, I Gabrielle was put into our life, and it
Mhm.
wasn't. You can't stop it. It's like your auto mom got married, and you can't just abandon a kid, right?
Mhm.
mhm,
So I think sometimes with the dreams, I think God also shows us along the way, prepares us. So
mhm,
while I'm waiting for that day, I realize more the responsibility of being a mother or a father. And I think I needed to know this before I actually built any home for any kid,
mhm,
because um, it's not something you could just give up. You have to be in that child's life forever. So, for
Yeah.
example, with Gab, like many of my decisions, my husband, both him and I, have made decisions about not going to Canada because while my husband is taking a shower, God will say, you need to stay in Philippines for Gab.
Mhm.
You like, there's things God will tell us because we committed to a life.
Mhm.
And when you build a home, it's a forever thing. And it's like these kids become your kids, right? They become no longer orphans, but adopted into the kingdom of God. So I know that it will happen one day, but I really appreciate God preparing my heart. And
Mhm.
after watching the show Greenleaf, I'd rather be prepared than like after money and fame and like build it today to
mhm,
now with $1 million and lose it all because I'm not
Mhm.
ready.
Like the heart's
And
not ready. Yeah.
the heart's not right, and they lose everything. It causes
Mhm.
drama, it breaks up families when you're not ready. So I think the waiting is also a blessing and a gift from God
mhm,
to
Mhm.
prepare us for when
mhm,
that time comes, you know what you're thinking
mhm,
Yeah.
more, So
Mhm.
trusting God that He knows what He's doing in the waiting.
Yeah. Exactly. It's
mhm,
so cool because like it all ends up back to that, right? It's like just trusting God. Like we don't
mhm,
know, we don't see it, but that's how we
Mhm.
enjoy the waiting. Like
Yeah,
even though it may take forever, it's like when and why and
yeah,
why is this happening or when is it gonna happen? It's like when we like trust, the time just he's doing something in the waiting,
mhm,
right?
and you'll be
Like
and
even
you'll be shocked. You'll be shocked
yeah,
because like if you force it your own, like the way Abraham and Sarah did, you're gonna
yeah,
create an Ishmael, which will
mhm,
yeah.
create more problems in the future. And
Hmm.
so I am thankful for God. I believe that's His protection. You know,
Hmm.
mhm,
Yeah,
uh, it's like a
exactly.
protection.
And that's why
Like,
like it's not worth rushing whatever it is, and trying to plan and do it in our own way or in our own strength, in our own power, whatever it is that we're praying for and waiting for. It's like knowing that he has the perfect timing and he's doing something
mhm,
in the midst of whatever timing.
mhm,
mhm,
So like the last one of the last things for me also is like that I've been praying for, what like for God to reveal to me is like, why I had to go back to school and why I went back to school. Like, what is the reason? Like, I know there has to be a reason because I absolutely not hated. I don't hate, okay, but like really, 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 really didn't like school, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And like I didn't
Okay.
believe in school either. Like I actually had a very strong opinion about why I'm not gonna go to school and stuff. But now I finished school and I'm doing school and I think, there's a reason, but I'm just like, what do you want? Like me to
Mm-hmm.
with it? Um,
Mm-hmm.
so praying about that, just enjoy, and how do I enjoy that is like
Mm-hmm.
asking God like along the way, what are you showing me? Like what are you teaching me? Like what can I learn along the way? Not just from books or from the teachers or professors and stuff. Not just that, but like from the real life situation, like the students and the student life and like all these different kinds of things he's showing me and teaching me along the way. So um that is something I'm praying about, is like what what's his plan,
Mm-hmm.
with it
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
what.
Yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
he'll show you. He'll
Yeah.
reveal in his
In
time.
his perfect timing.
Yeah.
Exactly. And
uh,
he really wants to get in.
I think they're playing with the baby.
Oh,
Oh. Okay. I was like, someone's at the door. Share. Or I thought someone was trying to enter our Zoom meeting. I'm like, okay.
Oh yeah, because it makes that sound.
Yeah. That's so funny.
your last thing, Sheree?
My last thing, this one just came to mind, but the salvation of friends and family, but specifically, of course, my dad and my brother, right? Just waiting on that and waiting to see how God is going to continue speaking to them and revealing himself to them, but also how God is going to be using me or my mom or anyone else, right, in their sort of environment to speak to them or to show, the love of Christ in a way that isn't like, I guess, forcing them to believe or whatever. So I think just waiting to see what God's going to do with my relationships with my family members, right?
Yeah.
And how that could lead to their salvation. Yeah.
That's
Mhm.
how
And a
to
tip for
enjoy the time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
yeah, like so a tip for that share, like through that time, I just see you praising and worshiping God. I
Mm,
just see you like even laying hands on the side of their bed or like
mm,
stuff that your brother owns
yeah.
when
Yeah.
he's not there, like on his door.
Computer and
It's like
stuff.
laying
Yeah.
hands. It's like I declare salvation. And you
Yeah.
don't see it in the physical, but like in the spirit, just like
Yeah.
praying over it,
Mm-hmm.
that's so much fun too. And just
Mm-hmm.
seeing God answer that. And I I mean, just remember Jana Muir. Like she used to wear Mark's shoes, walk around the house,
Mm-hmm.
and she would pray. And just my friends who did this, like just did that kind of stuff,
Wow.
like God answers. So
Mm-hmm.
and exciting to see him answer, but it's also
Mm.
exciting to lay hands on their stuff when they're not there. It's kind of like a game. I declare
Yeah. Like to
salvation.
participate.
What are you
Why,
doing
why do you have
here?
my shoes on? Why do you have on for
You're wearing
work?
his
Why are you
t-shirt.
wearing my suit?
None of your business, but I love you. I'm just kidding. Yeah, that's so funny. It's just like, why are you wearing my stuff? Why are you like touching my coffee beans right now?
Yeah.
Why are you?
It's like
Yeah. So
each
that
coffee bean too.
yeah, you're like swallow Christ,
Hmm.
swallow Christ. No, it's just so yeah, it's exciting to see that come to fruition. I think if we focus on like, oh, will never happen, or like the
Hmm.
negative, like, oh, why would I sing to you, Lord? Like,
Yeah.
then it's like, it's just not fun. Who wants that? Okay,
Your last
so for me, okay, this just came up to my mind. I'm waiting to buy a house, like not like a big
Mm.
whatever God gives. But like I want
Yeah.
Gabrielle and Rachel to have a bedroom. So
Mhm.
that is like, me, I'm materialistic, but I am practical. I'm like they're gonna be like high school kids soon, but I want it close to the home, like or on the land or something. So it's definitely it's exciting to kind of see like where will we build it, because we now knowing when we were to pick the house is also based on where the home will be for children's home. So
Mhm.
and yeah, so but I also, yeah, so we'll see, because we also do an online thing. I want to see that grow. That's another part of it. And I want to employ
Mhm.
all the poor women. So I don't want to just give like women food. I
Mhm.
want to employ them, teach them how to make stuff. So I'm waiting for that. And then I'm waiting, I think, towards that journey. How do I make it fun? I want to write a book, like we talked about this.
Mhm.
I want to use that book, and then I want it to be a homemade handbook. So I want to hire the women to like sew it together. But like I already print the pages like antique style, and
Mhm.
it'll be like a daily devotional about love. So I'm
Mhm.
just letting it out into the world, God. Yeah, like I'm waiting for that to happen. And I wrote that in my, I was telling Shireen, God has been speaking to me about dreaming again. And I was listening to Danny Silk, which I was sharing with you, Janice. And Danny Silk was like, God told him, you stop dreaming. And he's like, write down 100 dreams. Right. And he
Mhm.
couldn't even think of three. Like it took him 5 hours to think of three. So it took me a while to think of 10. But God is actually wants to be so involved in our life, like in our
Mhm.
dreams. Because if we just live like we stop dreaming, imagine if you just stopped having dreams at night.
Mhm.
So did you know scientifically it's actually healthy to have dreams?
Mhm.
So like you have dreams because it helps you organize your thoughts. Like
Mhm.
you do that. So imagine if you just stop dreaming.
Mhm.
Just
I
you're
love
actually,
my dreams.
yeah, you
Yeah.
love it, right? Some people it just stops. And then even in real life, if you just stop dreaming, you
Yeah.
just stop hoping, stop believing.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So yeah, so my thing is waiting for that day for my dreams to come true,
Mhm.
but still loving Jesus. And if it doesn't mean I ain't Christian. I love him despite, but
Mhm.
knowing, having both, like,
Mhm.
loving Jesus and dreaming again,
Mhm. Mhm.
even
Yeah.
so
bigger than the home. Yeah.
yeah, that's so good. Like dreams keep your day-to-day life exciting, like something to live
Mhm.
for, right? Like something to look
Mhm.
forward
Yeah.
to. Like
Mhm.
Yeah.
if you don't,
Purpose.
yeah, purpose. Like if you don't, you're just
Mhm.
Yeah.
living to die.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
fun is that? Your dream is to
Yeah,
die.
Mhm. Mhm.
yeah, that's so
Yeah.
good. That was Raph's question for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good.
Sounds
Because it
good.
got us like really thinking about it. And how do let's continue to enjoy the waiting, be
Yeah.
patient in the waiting, knowing that God has it all figured out, you know?
Yeah.
Like he already
Mm.
knows the desires of our hearts. He knows exactly what we need, exactly when we need it. So
Mhm.
Yeah.
not worry,
And
not
you cannot control the day that you'll meet him. God already knows. So
hmm
Mhm.
I like, if I can go back and tell myself like I knew the day God I would meet Rafa and how it would happen. The whole time before that, there was like no point in worrying, because
yeah.
you're you're like, dude,
Like
I could have went to
that exact
Italy,
day.
I could have went to Greece. I'm glad I went to
Mhm.
Italy with Shireen. But what I'm
Yeah.
saying is like, live
Yeah,
your life, live it.
Yeah.
Don't make your husband your identity, because
Uh-huh.
exactly.
make your God your identity and dream with him
Mhm.
today, because that will lead you to when you meet your husband, and it'll be a better transition because you can dream together. Like,
Yeah.
know who you are.
Mhm.
That's
That's
awesome.
Yeah.
good. Wow. Is that
So yeah,
it? Should I?
good. Do you guys have anything to add? Share any? Do you have any
No.
questions? Share,
I have
girls.
a question. I have a question.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It is, uh, What do we do? So, like, obviously, another thing that we're all waiting for is waiting for Jesus, right? To
Yeah.
like come back and stuff. So, what do we do in that meantime? Right?
Okay. Yeah. The 10 virgins, right? Like, get your oil ready and have extra. It's better to be super safe than sorry. So
Mm-hmm.
what I would say is like, you know how like this is say this is like okay here this
Yes.
is a circle and
Mm-hmm.
this is like the heart of Jesus, perfect.
Mm-hmm.
When Jesus comes, you're totally ready. And
Mm-hmm.
here you could like still go to heaven or whatever. You'll
Mm-hmm.
still be there, but out of this circle, it's like
Mm-hmm.
so a lot of people test the water. So like they go around here, right? They're like, "Oh, I'm
Mm-hmm.
good. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'll still make it." But
Mm-hmm.
then it's like you could slip out anytime. But I
Mm-hmm.
think as while we're waiting for Jesus to come back, instead of testing the waters, like away from his total perfect will and loving him, giving him our full heart
Mm-hmm.
today, let's stay here in the center where this is the most exciting, like 10,
Mm-hmm.
10 out of 10. And this is like 2 out of 10, risky sharks on the water waves. Like,
The around is negative 50 out of 10, so don't go outside the
She's like, don't
yeah.
you dare. Don't even think about it.
Don't even
Look at her
teeter
eyes.
totter over here, you know. Don't even play around.
It's like, don't even
Be in
put
this.
your toe, like not even your pinky toe. It
not
cannot.
your breath,
Yeah,
like, you know?
yeah.
So that's such a good question. That's such a good question and a visual, right? Like stay in the center. Because not only are you waiting for him to come, but it's
Mm-hmm.
like we could face him like tomorrow. Like
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
tomorrow's not promised, our
Yeah.
life. You know what I
Like you
mean?
don't
So
even. Yeah, it doesn't have to be rapture. It could be anything.
exactly.
Like Black
Yeah,
Panther. You know what I mean?
exactly. Like
So
Yeah.
someone like and even Godfrey, some like this famous like Chinese guy or whatever, he just
yeah,
dropped dead on site. And he was
Mm-hmm.
only in his like 30 or something like that. He was
Mm-hmm.
young. He died of a heart attack
Kobe,
of exactly
Kobe and his
helicopter.
daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly, right? And just so it's not just okay when Jesus comes, but it's like we must
When
live
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
exactly. And the thing that Daphne just showed, we must try to stay in that center every single day of
Mm-hmm.
our life. Not like, okay, I'll do it maybe next week, you know?
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna not sin next week. Today I'm gonna sin as much as like because
God, I'll
we don't
forgive
know.
tomorrow.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
right.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like we just don't know when our last day is, and especially after 2020, like so
Yeah.
far, it's not promised. Tomorrow is not promised, but we must live joyously, like in excitement, in the waiting,
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
in
yeah.
purity, holy for God, you know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, I just got a picture. Like, imagine going to heaven, and
Mhm.
then on your way, you were like dreading life, waiting for you, Lord. You finally got there. Like, finally,
Okay.
hi. Not like, yeah, hello. I've been waiting. Thank you, Lord. I've
Finally.
been, hi. I have
That's
to let
Yeah.
go of,
it. Like, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm,
No. So
so
yeah.
good.
Go.
just being
Yeah, that mentality of like living like today is your last day. Like
Yeah.
if it was literally your
Exactly.
last day, what would you do? Would you be talking about Jesus? Would you be doing this?
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's like imagine just talking about him now and then seeing him later. It's like, oh, we were just talking about you,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Yeah. No, that's awesome. Uh, yeah. So what you ladies are saying are basically keep your eyes fixated on Jesus, seek Jesus, right? Like live every day with him, prioritize him, put him first before
Yeah,
anything else because he could literally visit you in 30 seconds.
yeah.
So
Ex- yeah. And the thing is, like, imagine pursuing things of the world. So you
yeah.
pursue money, put it money first, business first, have every day I'm
Mm-hmm.
hustling like that. And then you die. You don't even bring a dime with you.
nothing.
Satan's like, I ain't gonna do nothing with your money. What a
Mm-hmm.
waste of life. Like, but if you live your life for Jesus, yeah, money may come, fame may
Mm-hmm.
come, but it's like but it's more amazing, more peaceful, more fun on the way in that narrow path. Whereas if you pursue the things of the world
Mhm,
during waiting for
Mm-hmm.
Jesus, like money, 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 it's stressful. Okay.
mhm,
Most people who like are in business tell me like I don't have time for my kids. I don't have time for my family, and like, which is, but I think with Jesus, he can make it work. Just make sure you got Jesus in there
Yeah.
as a center, as a focus.
Mm-hmm.
Those things may be part of your destiny and plan, but that's not where your focus is, you
Yeah.
know.
So good.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome.
So enjoy the waiting. Be patient on the Lord and keep dreaming,
Mm-hmm.
every day keep dreaming,
Mm-hmm.
and God has it all figured out, so
Mm-hmm.
do not worry, do not stress.
Mm-hmm.
Enjoy the now with your kids, with,
Yeah.
Yeah.
now. Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Anything you can tell them about Jesus, tell them now. Like,
Yeah.
I
Hmm.
talk about Jesus
Yeah.
every day to the kids, even Rachel. I told you I speak tongues over her. Like, she speaks
Mm-hmm.
tongues over me now. And like, if I die, that's one thing. The only legacy I really want to leave is like that my kids know Jesus. Like, if
Yeah.
they were a millionaire, but like divorced 10 times and know Jesus, I think I would be the saddest
First,
person.
I would. I'm kidding. I'm
you
coming
know,
there first of all.
they're staying married. No, but like, you know what I mean? Like, imagine they do have a mansion, but you
Mm-hmm.
die and they don't have Jesus. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's just not the true joy, I think. So we love you guys, and
Mm-hmm.
Jesus
I
loves
know.
you. There
Yeah.
is joy in
There is.
seeking the Lord. The
Yeah.
devil will kick you in the hiney and leave you high and
Yeah.
dry, and he'll
Mm-hmm.
laugh at you falling down on the way.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
Jesus will pick you back up every
Mm-hmm.
time he kicks you down.
Yeah.
So why don't you go to the one that loves you,
Yeah.
the one who's faithful and true and kind? There's only one true love,
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
Keep right.
Jesus.
Waiting, dreaming, our prayers, like, he will answer them, and any other people who's watching, their prayers to be answered.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's pray. Pray fresh rain.
Sure,
All
can
right.
do. God, we just thank you so much for this conversation, God, and for just giving us the opportunity to reflect on waiting and talk about waiting and share about
Yeah.
some of the things that we're waiting on, God, and even talking about how to await, God. And so, God, we're just so thankful that you are a promise keeper. Right, you are going to fulfill all the promises that you make, God. And so, as we, as like the three of us and anyone else that's watching, continues to wait for those promises to come to pass, God, we just ask that you would give us the desire to pursue you, right? And that we would make you our number one, that we would just
Yeah.
prioritize you, God, knowing that when we seek you and your kingdom and your righteousness, all these other things shall come, will be added to us, God. And so let us just keep our eyes fixated on you, and let us not get distracted, but let's just continue to look to you, God, and pursue you, and let's enjoy that process, God. And I know that people tend to look at waiting as a negative thing, God, but I pray that you would show each and every single one of us a new perspective on waiting.
Yeah.
Maybe enjoy the wait, maybe have fun in the waiting, even if sometimes it feels like we're suffering, God. Maybe rejoice in the waiting period, because we know that you are preparing us for something, right? And
Yes.
so we thank you that you are preparing us, and that you're constantly teaching us and growing us, and developing us, just to get ready for whatever it is to come. So
Yeah.
we thank you for your unconditional love, God, and for everything that you're doing in our lives, God. And so continue to give us the endurance and perseverance to wait. Um, so we just lift this all up in your mighty name, Jesus.
Yes, Lord.
Amen. Thank you
Amen.
guys. Love it.
Keep on dreaming.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And enjoy the wait.
Yeah.
Enjoy the
Exactly.
wait. Yeah.
This is so good.
Bye.
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 Okay. Bye, Claire. Talk to
Bye.
you in 2 seconds. Bye. Bye. Bye.